My name is Aiba Loko. I'm head first at Eternal PLC. Eternal PLC is one of the major players in the downstream sector of the oil and gas industry in Nigeria. We operate over 80 stations across the country, and we operate in over 26 states in Nigeria.
My name is Paul Opara, the Group Head Retail Sales Renault Limited. I'm an engineer by profession. Currently, I work as an overseer. I manage these retail outlets, over 100 of them nationwide.
My name is Alhaji Fatai Adeshina Shoyoye, the Chief Executive Officer, Dimma Fast Petroleum, here in Abeokuta, Ogun State.
My name is Jerry Igwilo. I'm the General Manager, Trade and Business Development, Hayden Petroleum Limited.
My name is Bimisola Kabir Jibola. I'm the MD CEO of Hayden Petroleum. We're in oil and gas, and we are in the downstream sector of the industry.
Visibility is a big issue running stations in Nigeria. So when you have stations spread across over 23 states, you need to have visibility of all the sites. Without technology, it means you have to deploy personnel across all those states. You need to receive reports daily, and those reports need to be done accurately, and they're subject to human error. So those are major issues around running sites.
The major challenge that we used to face in the past, especially when you're running a retail business in our environment, is that of theft. Theft by attendants, theft of under dispensing to customers. That usually is quite challenging, especially for us and also our customers.
Before now, we had challenge of managing sales at the retail outlet. When I mean managing, I mean tracking sales as against supplies to station. And also, we have challenge also of leverage from the retail managers, because they manipulate the pumps and then to their own advantage, and then which also is a point of loss. Also, we had challenge of trying to get real-time data for our analysis, and also to see the trend of sales across these retail outlets.
I have a lot of challenges. My major one is that I don't have time for my family. I have to come to the station by 5:30, close by 10 o'clock every day. And at the end of the day, no profit. When I spoke with some people, especially my manager, I called him. I don't know much about this thing. He said we should employ an auditor, in which he brought the auditor himself. It was total zero. They manipulate a lot of figures. In oil sector, we have opening stock and closing. Before they brought to my office here, they must have wrote a lot of things. But then, I don't know much about it. Even if it happens that you came that time, you will see a lot of books here, just to distract my attention. Even I was told that I should put CCTV camera, everything zero. Even many stations have been closed because of the attendants and the manager.
One of the challenges during the course of running the stations, the time frame to get the price fixed on each pump, immediately the price is changed, and also to get daily sales. Most of the time we used to wait till the following day to get the daily sales, and also to get the stock balance. But with Epump, I can sit down at anywhere in this world. The only thing I need is an internet to just access my phone. I go to the dashboard on my phone. I can get all the information of each and every of my station at the spot.
We were part of Epump's proof of concept when they started a few years ago, and after that process we did not continue. However, they came back with an innovative way of deploying the systems at a very lower cost. Then we were happy to proceed with them.
I was contacted by one of the co-founders while they were doing a project for one of the government agencies, and he spoke to me about the product and how they were going to deploy it. I was particularly impressed by the lack of intrusion in the deployment, and I made a mental note of the product. And when I got an opportunity to do a major deployment for Eternal, I contacted him.
Way back 2019, when I came to Lagos as the group head retail, in one of the meetings with my GMD, he called my attention to there were visitors in his office, and they were discussing automation. And before then, I knew that in 2018, there was an automation from one of the other vendors, but there were issues with that automation. So at that point, I was looking for a solution whereby we could monitor these outlets while sitting here in Lagos and also try to see what they're doing. And then, so at that point, I was asked to review what Epump had to offer and look at how workable it's going to look in terms of commercial wise as well. And that was how I reviewed the proposal from Epump and then made my recommendation, and then the journey to deployment started.
Well, I discovered Epump through one Alhaji Tajuddin Lamide, the chairman, Southwest Ipman, Independent Petroleum Marketers. We are in an occasion, and I called him, Alhaji, you know my station. We have been operating over 7 months. This is the problem we are having. I said, well, the best I could do now is this. They will introduce some organization to me. They were called Epump. And I said, well, no problem. But when they gave me the money, I mean the initial deposit, and they came to my office, they did it. My first challenges I was having then was that when the man said that I'd be seeing everything on my phone, that would not be possible. Are you going to put my phone on the pumps? But thank God, now I can operate everything through phone.
Epump was introduced to me by a friend that owns the station in Abeokuta State. He just opened the station and was just talking to me regarding how the Epump has been working for his business. I was like, okay, fine. Which software is that? He just gave me the name of the owner of the company, and I made a call. Maybe I have the same number on my phone. Immediately I called the person. He was like, I've been to your office before, and I told him that, okay, no problem. Let's see how we can deal now. So, and immediately we installed all 5 of our stations, and the results has been very good.
The most favorable, in my view, is their ability to record the quantity of product being dispensed at any given time from any pump. That for me is very important and very good.
I think the ability to determine when pumps are over-dispensing or under-dispensing is one of the most useful features, especially since it's something that's done passively, and it's also something that's very important for customer service. So among all the features, I think that's one of the most important. But we also have many very useful features that we can't live without. Of course, we need to know what we have sold, so knowing your sales data is very important. Also, having the ability to track opening and closing times is very important. So these, among many other things, are very critical features that we use. But I think due to the sensitivity and the fact that it speaks directly to customer service, ability to know whether your pumps are over-dispensing or under-dispensing is one of the most useful features.
The function I love most on Epump, changing of price. I can do it anywhere I am. Even if I'm not in the country, I can change it.
It was difficult implementing price change uniformly as the same, probably a space of short time, but then the engineer might take him a day to actually go through a number of outlets to change price. But now you see that it's easy. At the click of a button while you are here in your office, you could change prices across all locations, regardless of where the station is, except there's any network challenge. But where there's no challenge network-wise, you can implement price now, and in a few minutes, somebody in Gombe, Maiduguri, sees the price reflect on his pump, which is actually a major breakthrough.
All the function on the dashboard has been very good to us, because during the operation of each station, I cannot just close the station because I want to do maintenance. What I do is I look at the off-peak period, so I can bring in the engineers to come and fix all the pump one by one under 2 hours. So I'll calculate my off-peak period, maybe it's 3 hours, so they have to work within that hours to fix all those pumps. So Epump has made it easier for me to know when I can bring in engineer to service my pumps. Epump has made it easier for me to look at if I want to take product to a station, I'll just check the stock balance and I know that this station needs products. So from that information, I can send a truck, go and start in that station. And also the beauty part of it is easier for me to change prices. For example, now if there is no Epump solution, do you know what it will take me to go to each station to change price? The engineer will collect money from Lagos to Ibadan to Oyo to Osogbo to change prices. But what Epump needs from me, I have all those lists of those stations. Just pick all location and click and put your password. That's it.
Well, before Epump, we would have to deploy multiple layers of staff. We don't have sales staff auditing sites regularly, and then we also have to have a layer of auditors going around. But with Epump, the visibility it gives us, it's like us being in a site, sitting from the head office. So we're able to read what the pump is doing, know what is happening in the tank, so we have all the visibility we need.
Well, before Epump, I can't imagine what it would look like, because there are a lot of challenges managing retail outlets, and before Epump, the visibility you have sitting at your comfort of your office. You're in Lagos here, and you have retail outlets in Gombe, Maiduguri, and all that. So it's actually more difficult for you to track what's happening there. Apart from the manual data they send to you, you might have to travel down to ascertain some position yourself. We cannot actually quantify what we had then and what we have now.
Yeah, so like I said, our most nagging problems were that of theft, under dispensing and shortages of product. What we did in the past was to appoint a third-party consultant who would go to the stations every month to take records or to confirm records that the attendants of station managers do submit. And at the end of the day, there are words against that of the manager. So the problem is never been solved, really.
Even when I'm contemplating to sell the filling station then, when I'm doing business over 7 months, I didn't make profit. Even I called one of my friends that I want to sell the filling station. It was that very person that told Alaji Taju, and the man calls me, that he told me that I should be calm, that these people are coming. And when the pump came, if you are planning to build another filling station now.
The way we run station then has been the traditional way. The running station then used to be an auditor visiting the station, engineer go and check what's going on in the station, accountant check, sending you daily report of their sales, which you have to put into your Excel. That's the way we've been running it. I don't need to get a report from a station. I can get the report from Epump and I will download it straight to my Excel.
Of course, there's usually losses, like I said, product loss and unaccounted products, and of course it's just one story from the manager and the other, and of course, yes, there's definitely losses.
Without technology and using the manual process, it's subject to a lot of issues. Look at it in terms of the inaccurate reports, human interface, even pilferage. So that level of visibility we get using the technology helps us prevent this. And I'll say in terms of volumes, we save up to 2% of our volumes that are lost due to poor tracking when we don't have technology.
I enjoy a lot of them. Over 5 million naira was lost then. Because before knowing Epump, we've been operating for about 7 or 8 months. And you know this manipulation. Even the manager, you can't see him with money. You know, we took 2,000 today, 10,000 tomorrow, 30,000 next month tomorrow. They don't use the money for good things.
The managers capitalize on this advantage. They take out, they manipulate pumps. And then when you manipulate pumps, obviously you sell without record. So when you sell product without record, you don't account for that. So that was a source of loss. And this loss I'm talking about is huge. Imagine high volume station that does almost a truck of PMS a day, using PMS as a yardstick now. You might have a retention as much as in a truck, probably about, depending on what your factor will look like, if you have such amount of fund that if you turn it over in a week, in a month, it could be very significant. So it could be run to millions. So that was a huge loss for the company because it was actually a manipulation by the station managers since they know that there's no tracking of sales. So it's only what they report they can actually have access to. So that was a major loss.
I cannot quantify the loss, but I mean, there was definitely, there's no how you can compare modern way, which is cost effective, and old style. lifestyle which will definitely cost you because of the model you are using then. But now it's very easier to do things now with the new technology compared to when we started.
Oh no, we can't go back to where we were before Epump. With Epump, I think the way we do business has improved. The issue of theft or shortage of product is no longer an issue. Where the one happens, they're able to trace it to the particular pump and also link to the tank where the product is coming. Even where there's contamination, you're able to also trace this thing. So for us, we're sticking with the Epump plans.
I think having enjoyed the level of visibility that Epump provides and ability to track performance, going back to using a system that doesn't have Epump solution would be almost like going blind all of a sudden.
No. Can I ask you a question? You yourself, if I'm asking you to give me your phone now, I don't use phone. Will you be comfortable? Answer me. That's the same thing. I can't leave Epump again because I'm enjoying them. Why am I going to leave them? How much am I paying?
For an investor, you need a comfort to be sure that, what I'm supplying is not accounted for when sales is done. So it might be difficult running an outlet when you have no visibility. When I mean visibility, I mean you can be in Lagos and track what's happening in the hotel there. You will tell the manager, my record shows you sold X amount of fuel yesterday, but you logged in X naira amount. Why the difference? So you can be in Lagos and get those tracking, but without automation or technology, I think it's going to be very difficult to do that.
You asked me a question that do I feel like going to the bank to go and transfer or do it on my phone? Which one is better? I either sit down on my own, transfer, which is fine. So there's no way going back to that way. It's stressful, it's brain draining, and I don't think anybody that enjoy this kind of software want to go back.
Yeah, definitely 10 out of 10. I would recommend Epump. Beyond the fact that it has all these lovely features, it also has uniqueness that it's also sort of tamper-proof, and it's also something that cannot be easily sabotaged. The way it's deployed inside the pump and iron boxes makes it resistant to such sabotage, which is one of the big problems other similar technologies have. So I think in that sense, it's unique and it is a market leader. Also, in terms of cost effectiveness, I think there's no product in the market that compares with it.
Well, on a scale of 10 over 10, why I said 10, actually automation is very key and technology is the way to go. There's no way you can run any business in Nigeria or anywhere in the world when you don't have the technology to drive that business. And it's actually a way of having that clarity or the comfort that there's nobody manipulating what you have at your outlets. And that's why I would recommend automation or Epump to any user who needs it.
I would say 9 over 10. And the reason why I say 9 over 10 is that I will leave the 1% for Epump to continue to improve and being innovative.
I've introduced Epumps to many of my friends, at least about 8 or 7, because I told all my friends, go and do it. Said the money is much, but to me, it's not much because I know how much I've lost before I was introduced to Epump.
I've done some couple, introducing them to a few friends, and they have been communicating with the company regarding how to start having a relationship. So on the scale, let me say 9 over 10.
Epump gives you an overall bird's eye view of how your station is being run, the daily income and expenditures involved, clear customer information and data, and so much more. With Epump, you can monitor, control, and grow your business while reducing theft, fraud, and revenue leakage. Contact us today for inquiries about Epump. Fuel Metrics Limited, 18 Ilupeju Bypass, Ilupeju, Lagos. Telephone 0913-104-8999, 0803-609-6226, 0803-935-1752, 0813-9221-318. Email epump@fuelmetrics.com.ng. Website www.epump.africa. Twitter @epumpafrica. Instagram @epumpafrica. Facebook www.facebook.com/epumpafrica.